What's up, everybody, and welcome back to Fireside Giants. I'm your host, Anthony Rivardo, and Daniel Jones just inked a 4-year, $160 million deal with the New York Giants. Man, that was close. The Giants had until 4 p.m. today to reach an extension with Daniel Jones, and they somehow got it done at the buzzer just minutes before 4 p.m. I was kind of biting my fingernails there for a second. It was pretty nerve-wracking seeing the Giants just not get this deal done until the very last minute, but they got it done. They have extended Daniel Jones, or at least come to an agreement on an extension with Daniel Jones worth $160 million over 4 years. That's $40 million per season. Plus, there's an extra $35 million in incentives attached to the deal. So it could be worth $195 million, but on average annual salary, it is $40 million. We don't know the year-by-year cap hits just yet as I'm recording this video, but of course, we will be updating you on that right here on Fireside Giants. So make sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new and ring the bell so you don't miss an upload. But man, Daniel Jones, $140 million. You asked me this 2 years ago. I never would have believed you if you told me this was going to happen. So if you didn't see it on Twitter, go follow me at Anthony_Rivardo. It's also in the description box. I did tweet out earlier today. My prediction for a Daniel Jones contract was 4 years, $160 million. I was spot on. So I got to pat myself on the back a little bit there. But let's talk about what this means for the New York Giants. That's a big number, right? And what exactly does it mean for Daniel Jones? Well, if you go ahead and you take a look at that deal and the average annual salary of that deal, that actually makes Daniel Jones one of the 10 highest paid quarterbacks in the NFL. Now, I took a look at the other deals that were signed yesterday. Geno Smith, Derek Carr. Those two got between $35 and $37.5 million on average annual salary. So after seeing that, I was like, yeah, Daniel Jones is definitely cracking 40, but I don't think he goes much further than 40. And here's why, because if you take a look at the top salaries in the NFL, of course, you have your Aaron Rodgers, who's making, I think, like 59 this year, something crazy. But Patrick Mahomes' average annual salary is 45, and Josh Allen is right beneath him at 43. Underneath him was Matt Stafford and Dak Prescott tied at 40. So I figured Daniel Jones is going to want more than Derek Carr at 37.5, but I don't think it's realistic that he actually exceeds Josh Allen at $43 million per year. So the $40 million was a good compromise for Daniel Jones and the New York Giants. They avoid having to place a franchise tag on Daniel Jones, but it does mean that they had to franchise tag Saquon Barkley. Yes, the Giants officially franchise tagged Saquon Barkley right ahead of the deadline. Literally just moments before the deadline, they placed the tag on Saquon Barkley. That's worth $10.1 million. So technically saving a lot of money tagging Saquon Barkley instead of tagging Daniel Jones. A Daniel Jones franchise tag would have been at least 32, or is it 32 or $34 million. 10.1, not so bad for Saquon Barkley. However, it is fully guaranteed. So it is a full $10.1 million salary cap hit on top of whatever the cap hit is for this Daniel Jones extension. So that $42 to $47 million that the Giants had going into this offseason, it's drying up rather quickly, my friends. They do not have a whole lot of room to work with after these two deals get processed, but we'll see, because the first year cap hit for Daniel Jones could be pretty low, depending on signing bonuses, depending on if they backloaded the deal, when the out is in the contract, if there really is one. We will find out relatively soon. But listen, Daniel Jones, I think that it is actually a fair deal. I know a lot of Giants fans will disagree with me on that, but again, just look at the quarterback market and the way that it's shifted in recent years. That middle class number is a 35 now. You know, we used to talk about middle class quarterbacks being paid $25 million or so. It's 35 now. Listen, Geno Smith just had a great year, went to a Pro Bowl. Derek Carr went to a Pro Bowl this year, 37.5 for him. Geno Smith at 35, but those are middle of the road quarterbacks who are veterans. They don't have a long-term future ahead of them. So they are the middle class on quarterbacks, and they set the new middle class with those deals at 35 and 37.5. So Daniel Jones being just above that middle class because, you know, he is getting paid as a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, but you have to keep in mind, Daniel Jones is coming off of a career year in which he led the New York Giants to their first postseason victory since 2012, and he's only 25 years old. So there's a lot of room for improvement. Now, listen, I think a lot of Giants fans will look at this and say, what does he accomplish? He doesn't deserve this. The Giants aren't paying Daniel Jones for what he has accomplished in a Giants jersey. They're paying him for what they think he will accomplish in a Giants jersey. And so here's the main question that I ask of any fans that don't like this deal. Do you like Brian Dable? Do you trust and believe in Brian Dable, the 2023 AP NFL Coach of the Year? Well, personally, I do. And if Brian Dable believes in Daniel Jones, then unfortunately, I also have to. My hands are tied. I have to believe in Daniel Jones. And either way, I do believe in Daniel Jones. I think he's gotten better year by year by year. And all he really needs is some extra playmakers around him, which is why it's important that the Giants keep Saquon Barkley. And they also need to give him a good coaching staff. And finally, he got that this past season. And look at how much better of a quarterback Daniel Jones ended up becoming. So I believe in Brian Dable. If you go ahead, take a look back to 2018, Josh Allen's rookie year. Putrid, horrible. He was so bad as a rookie. Year two, he wasn't really all that much better, but he had that breakout in year three once they got him Stephon Diggs. And once Brian Dable took out the old playbook, threw it in the trash, ripped it to shreds, and then brought in a new playbook and rebuilt the entire offense around Josh Allen. And that's what he's going to do for Daniel Jones. I don't think he's going to throw it out. Him and Mike Kafka had something good. They were cooking up something really solid this past season. But if you take a look at the future of Daniel Jones, they need to find a way to unlock that next level. And Brian Dable, knowing exactly how to build a playbook for a quarterback to break out, he's going to build that playbook. He's going to keep the plays that worked last year, get rid of the ones that didn't, and also add in the necessary talent to make this scheme fit together for Daniel Jones. And then, of course, Daniel Jones can have that big breakout. Again, he really needs a superstar. I think he needs a true dominant number one receiver. He probably needs Saquon Barkley to stay. We'll see if that deal gets done. That will be negotiated in the coming days, of course. And keep in mind that the Giants have a little bit of extra time to get this deal done with Saquon Barkley because the deadline to extend someone on the franchise tag is all the way in July. So they can keep negotiating all the way through the summer. The only caveat to that is that that cap hit is fully guaranteed. So if the Giants want that money available to them for free agency, if they want to go out there, sign a new cornerback, a new linebacker, they're going to have to get that deal done ahead of Monday because on Monday is when teams can start negotiating with free agents. That is the legal tampering period. Now, on March 15th, which is Wednesday, that is the new league year. All of these impending free agents officially hit the open market and become unrestricted free agents, and they're free to sign with any of the teams that they were negotiating with over the Monday through Wednesday period. So for the Giants, the incentive is to get this deal done over the course of this weekend, have Saquon Barkley signed to a long-term extension by Monday because that will allow them to lower his 2023 cap hit and sign some free agents. If they don't get the deal done ahead of the new league year, they're going to have to carry that full $10 million cap hit into this upcoming season or at least deep into the summer, and that will prevent them from going out and signing players in free agency. Again, let's see what Daniel Jones's cap hit is in 2023. I'm super curious to see what it is, but right now, all we know is that he will be paid on average $40 million per season. And again, I do think that's fair. It makes him, I think, tied for the ninth highest paid quarterback in the NFL, maybe seventh, somewhere in there. And listen, guys, again, it's not paying Daniel Jones for what he's done. It's for what he can do. He's 25 years old. He has arguably the best quarterback coach, head coach in the NFL in Brian Dable. The work that he did with Josh Allen and the work that he's begun to do with Daniel Jones, you don't want to break that up. You want to keep that going. I do at least. I want to see the Giants continue to develop Daniel Jones under Brian Dable because if there's anyone that I trust to turn a quarterback into a superstar right now, it is Brian Dable. And I do believe that this $40 million has the chance to be looked at as a steal down the road. Now, I understand the risks, and so do the Giants, of signing Daniel Jones to this contract. Listen, if Daniel Jones fails to improve his game, he not only has to replicate what he did last season, Daniel Jones has to get better in order to be worth that $40 million per season. It was 15 touchdown passes last year. He's got to at least crack 20, right? I mean, a lot of Giants fans are going to be expecting 30 now. So he's going to have to crank up the touchdown passes, stay healthy, throw for more yards, run for more yards. Daniel Jones, the expectations have now risen. He needs to be a franchise quarterback because he is 1,000% being paid like a franchise quarterback. So it's going to be really important for the Giants to go ahead and build this team around him and let him get to work. But again, I trust in Brian Dable to develop him. And again, looking at it, they are paying for his future and they're mortgaging their future for his. If this crashes and burns and Daniel Jones just doesn't turn into that guy, well, the money that they just invested in him, it's probably a fireable offense for Joe Shane and for Brian Dable, and they are totally aware of that. So that will tell you how much confidence and trust they have in Daniel Jones. They're giving him the keys to the kingdom. They're placing their job security on his shoulders. They're putting it all on Daniel Jones now, guys. So listen, if it all crashes and burns, everything's getting blown up with Daniel Jones. But if they're confident in him, I think we should be too. That's the take that I'm going to stick to at the end of the day, guys. With Daniel Jones and the New York Giants, listen, I trust Joe Shane. I think after 1 year, he proved to be a good GM. Now, I know it's early. It's only one season, but I liked a lot of his draft picks last year. I thought he did a really solid job being frugal in free agency, but improving the roster. And he gave Brian Dable a team that Brian Dable needed. Brian Dable, Wink Martindale, Mike Kafka, they needed specific players. They went out there, they got some scheme fits for him, despite having their hands tied through the salary cap, and they built a roster that was good enough to win them a postseason game for the first time in over a decade. So, yeah, I trust in Joe Shane, and of course, winning that postseason game, reaching their first postseason berth since 2016, I trust in Brian Dable, the head coach of the year. So if I am saying I trust in those guys, and those guys are saying we trust in Daniel Jones, I trust in Daniel Jones, and I think that we all should. So let's not be too upset about this one, Giants fans. Let's be happy. Let's just say, hey, we know that we have some stability at the quarterback position for the next 4 years, okay? We don't have to worry about that going into the draft. We don't have to care about any of the free agents. The Giants have their man. They have their franchise quarterback for at least the next 4 seasons, and we can be happy about that. It's a lot less stressful when, I mean, a lot of those teams are scrambling for quarterbacks right now, very stressed out, trying to figure out who they're trading up with, how much draft capital they're giving up. We don't have to worry about that, guys. We have our franchise quarterback, and if Daniel Jones can continue to win games the way that he did last season, we'll be good. But yes, there are certain expectations that are now being placed on him to improve his game. Again, 4 year, $160 million deal with $35 million added to it in incentives potentially, depending on how he plays. So let me know what you guys think about that down below in the comment section. I want to hear it. So the full guarantee, this just got tweeted. Full guarantee on Giants quarterback Daniel Jones' deal, $82 million, covers the first 2 years of the contract. So this isn't a 4 year commitment, guys. This is a 2 year commitment. I like that even better. That is awesome. The New York Giants having the ability to get out of this deal after 2 years. That's probably what took this negotiation so long to get done. $82 million. I think that is amazing. This is a good deal by the New York Giants. Honestly, I don't know how you can complain. It is just a 2 year deal. This is what that is. $160 million with $82 million guaranteed. It is pretty much a 2 year deal for the New York Giants. So give it another couple years. If Daniel Jones is still the guy, this is going to be a bargain of a contract. If he's not the guy, not that hard to get out of this deal after 2 seasons and just say hello, goodbye, and go ahead and find the next quarterback, which is about the time that Arch Manning will be in the draft. Just kidding, but who knows? You never know. We will see. But again, guys, make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy this episode and tell me your thoughts on Daniel Jones down below in this contract extension. Personally, I'm happy with it. I think that it's a good deal. And I think that especially after seeing there's an out after 2 seasons, perfect. Well done, Joe Shane. Well done, New York Giants. And listen, I'm glad that we don't have to worry about the quarterback position for the next foreseeable future. The Giants have their guy. They're confident in him. And I believe in Brian Dable to turn him into a superstar. So let's go Giants, man. Again, make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy and subscribe to Fireside Giants if you are new, and ring the bell so you don't miss any of our uploads right here on the channel. I'll catch you on the next one. Have a good one, and let's go Giants.